Hello, Aoife. Thank you for being on the talk show today. It's Mom Vibe with Rawiyah, and I am Rawiyah. And I'm very excited to have you today because you have a very exciting topic to discuss. So it's healthy living for busy moms, right? And
Yeah.
I will just let you jump right in.
Great. Thank you for the introduction. I actually have made a couple of slides to keep me on track. So if I can share the screen. Oh, I think you need to activate that I can share the
Yeah.
screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you could do it now. Maybe in the meantime, you could just give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Yes, exactly. So I am from Ireland. I moved to Germany more than 13 years ago now to study cancer research. So here in Heidelberg, we have the German Cancer Research Center, which is the biggest cancer center in Germany. And I was really fascinated with cancer and wanted to really understand more about the disease. And in one of the very first lectures, they told us, well, only 5% of cancers are actually genetically inherited. And I was thinking, what about the other 95%? And I sort of came to a realization that actually the majority of cancers and all of the chronic diseases in our world today, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, all of those things, the environment plays such a huge role in that. And we are able to control a lot of things in our environment. And that's why I really believe in living a very healthy life. To avoid any kind of disease is the key to being happy and healthy and living a long, fulfilling life. So that's really what I try to educate and spread awareness about. And 4 years ago, I had the privilege of becoming a mother, and that brought me even more into this realm of being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, and seeing how much things can impact us as moms, and also bringing up a child in a world where we're so easily influenced by the external environment, and trying to remain grounded and remain healthy and give my child a good education and standpoint on that too. So yeah, that brings me into the slides, healthy living for busy moms. So I found this really nice picture online because I think a thing with moms is we are so busy. There's so much going on. We're cleaning, we're cooking, we're shopping, we're doing the laundry, feeding the kids, we're maybe on our social media, we're working at the same time. And we really are, all of us are super moms, no matter what stage you're at, how many kids you have. We are all super moms, and that shouldn't be taken for granted. And we should definitely be applauded for everything we do as moms. And I think that can really be a very difficult thing, becoming a mother and getting all of these new responsibilities and not feeling any kind of gratitude or appreciation from those around us. So at least all of us other moms are there to support, and we understand really how difficult it can be to juggle everything. And what I always say is that you can't pour from an empty cup. And this means no matter what you're doing in your life as a mom, you really have to take care of yourself first. You have to give yourself the time and the dedication to really fill up your own cup, fill up your own energy before you can give to everybody else. So I think this is really the essence of what I'm going to talk about today, to keep in mind. And for everybody, this will be different. How you recharge your energy will be different from me. And you really have to find that space every day or every week, or however you want to do it, to really fill up your cup, fill up your energy, recharge your batteries, so that you can be a better person, a better mom, wife, colleague, friend, and everything in your life. And I can give you some pointers as how you can fill up your cup. So this is what I call the pyramid of awareness, and it's something I came up with to try and help people understand that it's not just about eating healthy or working out or maybe doing yoga or meditation, that everything is really interconnected, and humans are the most complex species, and everything that we do in our lives has an impact on everything else. So I believe that at the base of the pyramid, we really have to have a good nutrition. We have to eat well to have a really, really healthy body from the inside out. And on top of that, we really need to also take care of our body physically by doing physical activity. And sleep, which is, I know, a huge topic for moms, is so important. Also to feel good, which is the next point about managing stress. If you're sleep deprived, stress is one of the first things that you're going to feel in your daily life. And on the top of this pyramid, I have reducing toxins, because again, coming back to cancer and disease prevention, in our world today, in our environment, there are so many toxins that you probably are not even aware of many of them. And I think we really have to be aware and make a conscious effort to reduce toxins in our environment, in our life, and also our children's exposure to toxins, because these are the things which they're very small and tiny, but over time they can build up and really cause problems. But you might not see it on a daily basis, but over time, that's when you might start to see symptoms or issues. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about all of these points and how moms can really try to be more aware and try to take care more of themselves. The first being nutrition. So I know after giving birth to my son, it was really impossible to find any kind of regularity. I remember being very hungry, also in the middle of the night. But I think after those first few crazy weeks and months, it's really important to find a regularity in your meals. So more or less at the same time every day, really sitting down and finding the time to really enjoy those meals. I personally am a vegetarian. There are tons and tons of studies by now showing how a plant-based diet is perfectly sufficient. And another thing is, it's much better for the environment. I'm sure many of you are aware about the impact of the meat industry on our environment. And what I have put here on the right side is called the Planetary Health Plate. So this is from a study done by, I think, about 50 scientists all over the world, where they projected if our world is to be sustainable for the next 50 years with our growing population, this is really how our plates need to start looking. So we really need to be eating a lot more fruit and vegetables and whole grains and much less animal products and meat. And this is for the whole world globally. So if we really want to live in a sustainable world, we need to eat more like this. So it's not just for your health, it's also for the health of our planet. And at the end of the day, we want our children and our grandchildren to grow up in the world as we know it. And the world as we know it now is not going to be as it is if we continue the way we are going at the moment. Another thing is non-processed food. So when you go in the supermarket, it's very difficult to avoid processed food, because almost everything nowadays is coming in packets and packagings, which is again contributing to the plastic issue and the environmental issues. But what I always advise you to do is look at the label. If you're not sure about if something is processed now, just look. And if you see, a list of ingredients, if you see things that you can't pronounce or don't understand, I would try to stay away from it, because again, those things are toxins which you're putting into your body, and unknowingly over time, they can really cause problems. And of course, now and again, it's fine to have treats, and nobody is perfect. So if you want to have a chocolate bar, go ahead and do it, but just limit it. Don't do it all the time. Have a treat now and again. But it's really about finding a balance and being good 90% of the time, and then allowing yourself to have those little treats is okay. Having a varied diet is very important. So I also remember right after giving birth, I think I was always going for the same thing, just like something very quick and easy. I think it was omelets at the time. But it's very important to really have a varied diet, to eat lots of different things. And also having local and seasonal food is really crucial. And that's what I love here in Germany. I don't know about in Mannheim or where the rest of the group are listening in from, but here in Heidelberg, we have quite a few local farmers where you can just go and pick up their produce. And there's also the weekly Wochenmarkt, or the farmers market, which are very common here in Germany. And I would really advise you to go and buy food from there, because not only are you supporting the local business, but the food which is grown closest to you has the best nutritional value. And also the further the food has traveled to get to your plate, it has A, lost its nutritional value, and B, the carbon footprint will be much higher of that food. And when you eat local and seasonal food, it's also very good for your microbiome and in turn your immune system. So the microbiome means all of your gut bacteria, so all of the bacteria that live inside your body, which have been shown to be very, very important for everything from your brain health to your skin health to all of your complete overall health, and also for your immune system, because the bacteria in your body communicate with your immune system. And when you, for example, come in contact with a virus or a cold bacteria, the healthy state of your gut is going to interact with your immune system to help it and to boost it up to fight any possible threats. So all of these things are really interlinked, and it's really very important to really have a good basis of your nutrition and eat a varied diet. The next point is limiting stimulants. So I know, again, new moms are sleep deprived and you're reaching for, you know, the coffee and the cake to really help wake you up and give you a boost. But what I would say is, of course, if you want to have a coffee or tea, do it, but limited. So maybe 1 a day or 2 a day. Try to avoid sugary snacks. You can easily nowadays find things which are more healthy, I would say. So for example, energy bars, just always look on the label that they have very clean ingredients. And of course, alcohol is another one which we should really be limiting, because when you drink alcohol, it really tires out your body and you will feel that the next day. And as a mum, that's something which you probably don't want to have the next morning. And also drinking more water. I know lots of health experts say this, but it's really true, because most of our body is water and we really need to be hydrated to feel our best, especially if you're breastfeeding, or again, as a new mom, you really need to drink more and more water. Or I would suggest also herbal teas, especially now in the winter. Herbal teas are a great way to get a lot of hydration into your body without the caffeine. So if you want to ask me anything in between, please feel free to stop, or we can also talk about it at the end.
Yeah, I think it's better that you go through the presentation first and then.
Okay, because sometimes I talk very fast, so you can also just say, slow down.
No, it's doing well right now.
Okay, thank you. The next point on the pyramid was physical activity and sleep. As a new mom, I think it's very important to be slow and steady and to start with a very low impact, because all of us are affected differently by giving birth. And your body took 9 months to grow a baby and birth a baby. It's a big, big deal. So you really should not rush into physical activity. Do what you can, start slowly, and when it feels good for you, continue and go more or go back to the level you had pre-pregnancy. Personally, I used to run quite a lot before having my son, but still till now, 4 years later, my body doesn't feel the same when I'm running, so I don't get the same enjoyment out of it. Now I much prefer low impact things like yoga, where you're also going deep in the breath. And I would also say, try not to compare yourself with other moms, or when you're, looking online at some whatever superstar, famous actress who just gave birth and the next day she's in the gym or whatever. Please try not to get affected by these things, because everybody is different, and just focus on yourself and give yourself that time and space to come back to your physical self as you were before. And it's very important to do things you enjoy. So don't also force yourself to go running or to go to the gym. You should really try and find a way to incorporate physical activity that's enjoyable. And for me, I remember I used to always go for a walk with my son, either in the stroller or in the carrier, and just getting outside and feeling the fresh air and having that physical activity every day really helped me as a sleep deprived new mother. So what I also do nowadays is a lot of activity at home, especially during this pandemic. I think everybody has switched to doing stuff at home and online. And there are plenty and plenty of videos on YouTube. So if you also are looking for some sort of resources, you can ask me after the talk. Another thing is sleep. So of course, new mom, it's very difficult. A lot of us are breastfeeding or bottle feeding during the night, and kids don't sleep very well usually in the beginning. So I know that's really a very difficult thing to overcome. But what I would say is really focus on having a good night routine. So either go to bed with your baby or your child, or if you put them to bed first, then make sure the activity you're doing after they sleep is something calming and relaxing. So definitely no caffeine after in the evening time. If you need to work in the evening, some moms do, that's okay, but just try to stop at least 1 or 2 hours before you go to sleep. And try not to eat a heavy meal before bed, because again, eating a lot before you sleep will make all your energy go into your belly, into your digestive system, and you really want to be using your time to sleep to go into a deep sleep, a relaxation sleep, where your body can really recover from the stress of the day. Another thing is screen time. So when you're always looking into a screen from the phone or the computer or the TV, especially right before bed, the screens emit blue light, and this makes your body think it's still daytime. So if you're scrolling on your phone in your bed and then you're trying to sleep, it's going to be very difficult because your body thinks it's still the middle of the day. So it's very important to really put down the phone at least 1 hour or even 2 hours before going into bed, and try to do something like reading a book or have a relaxing bath, and really try to get into a relaxation mode before lying down. Another issue is stress and mental health. Very, very, very critical for new moms. There was a massive study done in the US of, I think, 1.5 million people, and they looked at things which helped or didn't help mental health and stress. And the two things which stuck out the most were physical activity that I just talked about, and having social contacts and relationships. So they're the two biggest factors which are positively promoting your mental health. So what I talked about just before about having physical activity in your life, it's also very good for your mental health. And you will realize that, because always after you work out or after you go for a walk, you always feel better than beforehand, even though before sometimes it's very hard to motivate yourself to do something, but you will always feel better afterwards, because when you work out, your body releases endorphins, which are known as happy hormones, and you will get that natural boost and natural high. So it's really, really important to do some kind of physical activity in whatever capacity you're able to do it. Another thing is social relationships. And of course, nowadays, this can be quite difficult, but I think meeting other moms, even online in this kind of format, virtually, or having a phone call with a friend, can be really, really good. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, or if you're feeling emotional or sad or upset, maybe try and call a friend, or just talk to your husband, talk to somebody. Don't keep everything inside. So it's very important to really express these feelings and feel like you're heard and feel like you're looked after. And I think as a new mom, it's very, very good to talk to other moms who have gone through this, because it's such an overwhelming experience that you can't prepare yourself for. And I think talking to other moms can really help. And especially for us expat moms who might not have their family around, this is a really, really critical point, because stress impacts everything. And if you're stressed, your baby is also going to pick up on that, which is not good. It affects everything in your life. It impacts all of your relationships and can really lead to very difficult mental health issues if you don't take care of it regularly. Getting enough rest is also really important. So you need to make that time for yourself. You know, if you're feeling like you're always completely tired, you need to just communicate this with your husband or your support network, and find time where you can really focus on yourself and know that the baby is taken care of, and either do something very relaxing for yourself, or just go to bed early and have that extra couple of hours sleep. It's really important. Having inner awareness of your own body is also going to help you to express your feelings and your emotions and take care of your mental health. Another thing is doing meaningful work or contributions. So I think as a mother, that's the most meaningful work you can do in your life, but also take note of that and appreciate that everything you're doing for your baby is really helping them to grow and develop, and that's the best thing you can do as a mom. So taking care of yourself, you're also going to be naturally taking care of your child. Another thing I would say is trust your intuition. So as a new mom, many things come up and which you've never dealt with before, and I think that the thing we always do is go on Google or freak out or think we're not doing a good enough job. But please trust your intuition. Always, be kind to yourself. Even if you do something that may not have been the best decision at the time, don't beat yourself up about it. Just move on and say, okay, next time if I come to this kind of situation, I've learned my lesson and I will do it better. And this also helps to really build your confidence, and having a good self-image and a good self-confidence is also really going to help your mental health in the end. I personally do meditate. I definitely got into this when I was pregnant. I can highly recommend meditation. There are tons and tons of benefits, including, of course, having a massive impact on your mental health, but also lots of other things like anti-aging, having a healthy heart, relieving stress, being more focused. And if you don't know how to meditate, there are lots and lots of guided meditations on YouTube. So you can just search about it or read about it. And even if it's just, 5 minutes in the day or 5 minutes before you go to sleep, where you're just saying some affirmations to yourself, or you're just visualizing yourself as the best version of yourself, or just having gratitude is actually even enough. Just sitting down on your bed before you go to sleep and thinking about 3 things that you were grateful for that day. Because when you express gratitude, you're automatically putting your mind into a positive way of thinking, and you're always looking for abundance and things you're happy about, rather than focusing on the negative things, which can really lead into a negative spiral. So I would highly recommend to meditate. The last point of the pyramid is reducing toxins. And one thing which can really be a powerful tool to reduce toxins in your life are essential oils. And again, when I was pregnant, I started to learn about essential oils, and some oils that I had after giving birth definitely helped me. And some of the things oils can do is purify the air. So what you can see here behind me is an essential oils diffuser, which is diffusing beautiful oils into the air, which also enhances the mood and creates a relaxing atmosphere, as well as purifies the air. And oils can also be incorporated into your hair and skincare routine, because many of our products we buy in the shop have a lot of chemicals and toxins in them, which again, you won't realize using them day to day, but over time, this can really be impactful on your health. Also in household cleaning. So for the last couple of years, I really don't buy any kind of cleaning products except for dish soap, because I've replaced everything with things like vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils, which really work super well. And as a busy mom, you need things which are easy to use, simple, and also which are not going to be toxic in the environment for your children. So that's one of the reasons I love to use natural things like essential oils when cleaning. When you use high quality essential oils, they can also be part of your cooking to give nice flavors to food. And one of the things I love the most is can be a natural solution. So for example, for small things at home like coughs and colds, essential oils can definitely be used to support the health, rather than first reaching for medical products, which are also toxic. Oils can also be very good for digestive support, for immune support, or for example, for relieving head and neck tension. And 1 year ago, I found a company which produce really super high quality essential oils, which are therapeutic grade. The company is called doTERRA. And because I love them so much, I really also decided to become what's called a wellness advocate. So I also supply the oils and give education to people. And I just want to show you one slide to tell you 3 cool things about essential oils that you might not know. Oils are safe, so they're 100% natural and safe, meaning they have no side effects and no addictions. They are extracts from plants which have been used for thousands and thousands of years in many cultures. They're way more powerful than herbs. And the oils I use, doTERRA, are certified pure therapeutic grade. And here, for example, I have peppermint oil, and peppermint can be really energizing. So just smelling peppermint can really uplift you if you're feeling tired or groggy and give you that nice refreshing feeling. It can also promote clear breathing. So if you're having a lot of stuffy nose or sinuses, it can help you. It's also brilliant for cooling the body. So for example, if a child has a fever, this is one thing you can use to cool down the fever without giving medications. It's also very good for relieving head tension or headaches. So oils are also very, very versatile. They have many different functions and can be used many different ways. And this is something that I never realized before discovering these high quality oils. They're also very effective. So if you look here, you can see a cell, a human cell, and every cell in our body is covered by a layer of fat. And because the oils are also fat-based, it's very easy for them to be taken up by our cells, and our cells really use the antioxidants and the special compounds in the oils for health issues. And another oil is called On Guard, which is actually a blend of a few different oils that are very good in supporting immune function. So I'm also using that very often at the moment in the current environment. It can also be good for clearing a sore throat, and it's very cleansing for the home. It has a lot of oils which have disinfectant properties, antibacterial properties, and it smells really beautiful. Oils are also very affordable. If you think about it, just 1 or 2 drops is all you need. Whereas when you're going for traditional medical care, usually medicine is much more expensive. So you can save a lot of money in the long run. And for me, really, it's about not using toxic things. So these are really pure, safe things from nature that we can use. And lavender is one which definitely helped me a lot. After giving birth to my son, I remember I used to go and take a shower, and that was my self-care time when he was very, very small. And I remember I had a bottle of lavender, and I would just, put it on my wrists and inhale it throughout the day. And that's what I would do whenever I was feeling stressed or overwhelmed, which is something I think all moms go through. So it can really immediately calm you down. And also for a baby, if you have a baby who is very fussy or has a lot of issues getting to sleep, something like lavender can really, really also help with the baby. So there's something which I think are amazing tools to empower moms. And I think every mom should have a toolkit of essential oils in her home. So that brings me to the end. I just want to again show you the pyramid of the things I've talked about. And I have a blog, a website, and I'm also active on Facebook and Instagram. My son is called Arun, which is an Indian name. So my husband is from India, and he's a yoga instructor. So he's also helped me a lot and supports me a lot in everything I do. And I think that's also one very important point, that you have to have the support of your partner. And having a baby really changes everything in your relationship. And it's very important to come back and also find time to invest in your relationship and supporting each other as you become parents and on your journey to parenthood. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's almost everything I wanted to say. So now I think we can have a little discussion or questions.
Yes, I have a lot on my mind right now that I want to ask you, but I just...
A lot of information, I know.
Such a beautiful presentation. I didn't want to disturb you at any point. It was very fluid, very interesting, I should say. So maybe I will just focus on the pyramid, so we could keep that here.
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to ask you, so the most important, you started with the nutrition. As a busy mom, it's not always the easiest thing to put a healthy meal for yourself. We do it for our kids, but to do it for yourself, it's such a huge challenge. What are your recommendations, your suggestions for that?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I think 4 or 5 mornings out of of the week, I always start with a smoothie. And I think a smoothie is the best thing to get a lot of nutrition in really, really fast and easily. And what you can do is even prep some stuff the night beforehand before you go to bed. But usually I just do it. I get my blender, throw in things like chia seeds, oats, some green things like spinach, berries, bananas, blend that all up and drink like a big glass of it. And that's a really, really brilliant way that you know you're going to get such a variety of nutrients first thing in the morning. And also everybody in the family can enjoy that. So that's one thing I would definitely do. Another thing is, of course, batch cooking. You've probably heard about it. So when you're cooking, try to cook a bigger amount that you can either freeze some for later or use it up the next day. And I would say just explore new recipes, because I think there are always ways you can figure out how to sort of cut corners and make things very fast. As I mentioned, I'm a vegetarian, so we do a lot of things like lentils, cook a huge pot of it and then keep some for later. And I think that's a very hearty meal that you can always then just grab on the go, kind of. And I think maybe you can invest in some books. There are quite a lot of cookbooks, but of course every family is different, and it also depends how your partner is, if they're around and able to help you or not. But I think there are definitely ways around it.
Yes, I think the major challenge with healthy meals is the time to cook healthy meals.
Yeah.
It's for any meal. I think for busy moms, it's the challenge to find.
Definitely, yeah. And I think I know for me also, it's hard sometimes to find a meal that everybody will enjoy, because sometimes the kids don't like what we're eating. But I think one other tip is from the beginning, when you start weaning them, already try to get them to eat things that you're eating anyway at the table. Get them to taste your food, so that they will sort of develop a taste for what you're eating. And I know friends of mine who have been very successful with that their children will just eat everything they're eating. So that's definitely one tip for weaning babies.
Yeah. Coming to physical activity and sleep, again, the time. It's well, we do not have the time. I think that's the problem. But I think I would just like to add there that, like you said, there are so many resources on YouTube, for example. And if we really want to get a workout in, you could even do just a 10 minutes a day, or even a 15 minutes a day. What do you think about that? I think
absolutely, yeah.
Some people, for example, if you are told to do a 10 minutes workout a day, you automatically think, okay, 10 minutes it's not even going to make a difference. Why bother, right?
Yeah, no, it's not true. Everything counts. And actually, after 1 year, when my son was around 1 year, I found this app. It's called the 7-minute workout. So it's just 7 minutes. And it's a free app you can download, and it's called high intensity interval training. So you do 30 seconds of a very like a strong workout, like for example running or doing push-ups, and then 30 seconds rest. And there's actually been a scientific study showing that this kind of high impact training is even much better than, for example, going for a 30-minute run or doing a more longer cardio exercise, because what you're doing is a very high burst of high energy workout and then a very quick resting phase. So in that time, your muscles really burn a lot and your fat starts to burn very fast. So I know time is always an issue for moms, but I think even a 10-minute workout is definitely worth it. And I think that's why I mentioned trying to do it with your kids might be even better. Like if you can go for a walk when they're in the stroller, that's also good enough. Or, try and do some maybe yoga or something where they're in the background playing with their toys. And that's what I've done with my son, especially during lockdown when the kindergarten was closed. And the first couple of days, he was always sort of climbing on me and wanted to be like on top of me. But at some point he realized, okay, this is something mommy is doing and I'm just hanging around. But he stopped sort of interfering with me. He would either do it with me or he would just sort of run around, but he stopped being all on top of me. So I think, again, if you sort of stick to it, be consistent, it's definitely worth it. Anything you can do is good, and it doesn't have to be, a really high physical workout. And this is also a point of self-care, I think, and it's where you really have to maybe get your husband involved and say, look, for half an hour every Tuesday and Thursday, for example, before dinner. I'm going in that room and doing my workout, and you need to take care of the kids, and you really need to really make some kind of adaptability with your husband or your partner, that they're able to give you that time. This is so important, and you need to tell them that this is really for you. It's your self-care time that you really need to have to be a better mother, to be a better wife, and to give more. You need to really focus on yourself more.
Definitely. And coming to managing stress, on your slide, you had, for example, social relationships are very important. But now in the middle of this pandemic, it's increasingly difficult to socialize. What are your suggestions for that?
I know this really breaks my heart, because, you know, at the moment, even the WHO have said that strict lockdowns are not helping the situation, and they just keep going stricter and stricter. I mean, in Mannheim now, it's crazy, right?
I was actually reading an article on BBC last night saying the divorce rate has increased because of
For sure. Yeah.
I think
really
it's
sad.
very frustrating to be locked up in the house the whole day for weeks, if not months.
Yeah. It's so sad. Yeah.
Both partners have to manage this stress equally. It's not just the mom. And I think this can be a very difficult situation.
Absolutely, yeah. And I really believe that these lockdowns are doing more harm than good in the long run, because I think they should do more sort of a selective lockdown, where, of course, people who are in high risk situations should not be interacting. But I think normal, healthy people should be allowed to meet up and do some stuff, because we are social beings. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive on social interactions, you know, especially children. And when they closed down all the kindergarten and everything, I was like going crazy. And I'm so glad that now everything is, at least this side, is open, because there have been studies also where they've looked at kids who have been isolated compared to kids who grew up in a normal environment with other kids in their family, and they don't develop, you know, they don't develop language skills, they don't develop emotional skills. It's really incredible that social impact is so important for us, and it's really, you know, it's the second most important thing for mental health. And that's why now there are so many, you know, suicides. I think there was a statistic from Japan the other week about the number of suicides, which was like, I don't know, 100 times more the amount of coronavirus deaths in Japan. So it's really sad. And I just really hope that next year things are going to be better and we're going to be able to interact again. But yeah, I mean, for moms and people at home, it's very hard too. And I would say just, you know, try and go out and meet with that one friend or two friends or whatever. Or again, just call a friend on the phone, because even talking on the phone, I think, can already sort of uplift you and make you feel better in that situation.
Yes, and I think there are more online activities that are coming up to help with that, with the socialization part. We have a lot of mom groups that are being created specifically for this purpose as well. So people should really be looking into this and taking advantage of whatever we can do online right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will come to the most interesting and exciting part that I was itching to ask you about, essential oils. This is a big topic here, especially in Germany. I mean, I have lived in other places and I have never heard of essential oils as much as I have heard of it here in Germany. There are a lot of advantages, obviously, but there are a few concerns as well when it comes to essential oils. For example, the other day I was mentioning in a mom group that I bought a lavender essential oil, and I put 1 or 2 drops in the bathtub for my son. He's 10 months now, and there was another mom who was, I mean, in all kindness, she meant well, I know. And she was saying that, no, you should not do that. You have to dilute it. And, you know, I don't know about that. I have never used essential oils before. I just read that lavender can help him sleep, and I need sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a few concerns as well. how do you think people are best informed of the correct way to use these essential oils?
So this is also one of the reasons why I wanted to be a wellness advocate for doTERRA, because the thing is, with the essential oil spectrum, the companies are not obliged to really tell you exactly what's in the bottle. So it might say pure, but still you never really know. And doTERRA oils have the highest quality in the world. So they're third party tested, and they're checked that what's in that bottle is literally only the pure oil from the plant and nothing else. And when you use the pure oil like that, you can be sure it's safe. But obviously, in the case of children and babies, we always have to take care not to use too much. And when I got into doTERRA, I got a lot of education about this, and I also have a big, huge kind of encyclopedia. So if anybody is interested, they can always ask me afterwards too. I'll leave my contact details. But definitely in the bath water, it's perfectly safe, because you're talking about just adding a couple of drops in the bath, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's perfectly safe because it will
Full
be
of
so much
water.
diluted.
Yes.
Yeah, and same thing with the diffuser, what I'm doing here in the background, it's perfectly safe because it's diffusing into the whole room. So it's only a little bit of the oil that I'm getting. And as I've said, oils have been used throughout the ages in all kinds of cultures. And I think when you have pure, high quality oils and you use them correctly, it's perfectly safe.
And do you think, do you have any reliable, very accurate resource where people can read up more about essential oils, or, just to have very accurate information? We have a lot of information online, but not everything is reliable and accurate.
Yeah, online can sometimes be conflicting. And that's also one of the reasons why I blog and talk about all of this healthy living things, because sometimes you never really know what to trust. So you can definitely go on the website of doTERRA. They have a lot of information there, and they also have a blog. So I would definitely trust what I read there. And I think they have, they have ebooks about kids and about, using oils for different things. So that's definitely a good resource. I also have a private Facebook page where I'm doing education about essential oils. So you and anybody listening are more than welcome to join that community. And
What is the name of the page so we can look it up?
yes, Essential Oils Education by Aoife.
Okay, okay,
It's a private group, so you can request to be.
okay. So
But
maybe, okay.
when you post this video on YouTube, then I can comment underneath maybe
Yes,
all
that
of
would be
these
perfect.
links. Yeah.
Yes, I will share the link with you so you can add that there.
Yeah, but I think if you're getting information from somebody like me who's really a wellness advocate with the oils, you can definitely trust it.
Okay, so fun time. Can you list 2 essential oils that you have in your house right now in the room that you are in, and can you tell us what it's doing?
Yes. So right now I am diffusing peppermint oil and orange, wild orange. So as I mentioned, peppermint is really good for focus. So for example, if you're working from home and you just need some help with concentrating, or if you're feeling a bit tired or irritable, peppermint is beautiful to diffuse into the air. And alongside orange, so orange oil has been studied to actually alleviate feelings of anxiety and depression. So it's very uplifting. You can imagine when you peel an orange, that smell you get off the rind, that's diffusing. And together with the peppermint, it's really, really motivating and uplifting. And I just love this blend together.
Okay, and with your son around, are you ever worried about using these essential oils, or is it safe for him as well?
Exactly. So again, in the diffuser, it's totally safe because it's just dispersing the oils into the air, which are natural. And I think there's no chance to get like an overdose or anything like this. The only thing I take care is putting them on the skin, because for children, they can be very sensitive. So you should always dilute the oils when you put them onto children. And doTERRA also produce specific oils for children, which are really, really nice. And I usually use those ones on my son. But, it's not that we're using them all day, every day. It's like maybe in the morning or in the evening, depending on, the situation or what's happening. So for example, if we're going if it's bedtime, then I'm putting on a relaxing oil, or if he's going out to his kindergarten, I'm putting on more of an uplifting one, or again, like a focusing one. So it really depends on the situation. And I think when you start using the oils, only then you sort of start to get this intuition as well of which oils are good to use in which situation. And at the end of the day, we are all different people, and some smells which work good for me might not work good for you, you know, so you have to kind of experiment a little bit.
Okay.
Also, if you're interested to try the doTERRA oils, I can get you some samples, some free samples. So if you're not sure about buying them straight away, you can let me know and I can get you some samples.
Okay, that's a very generous deal.
Yes.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add for us?
I think that was everything, but yes, I think, yeah, just keeping this awareness word in your mind is important. So if you start being more aware about everything, like, and it's not something that happens overnight. So for me, this was really, you know, a journey, and I'm still on my journey of being healthy and trying to find balance in my life. But I think just always focus on being aware about everything will help you to make better decisions and to automatically become healthier and happier, and which is also, it's really good for your child also to see you doing all of these conscious and aware things in your life, because they pick up on that and they will start doing it too.
Definitely. We have to lead by example.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the talk show.
Thank you, Rawiyah.
For having you. And it was, like I said, I can't stress enough. It was very interesting.
Thanks so much. I'll leave
right.
all my details in the comments.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.